For 15 years, or maybe even longer, depending on how you count it, Danny Cashman has hosted a Saturday evening talk show produced at Husson University in Bangor. The Night Show has been on the air in Portland, Bangor, and Presque Isle for that long.
Yeah, so Cashman announced in 24 that this, 25, would be his last year for the show, and our Rob Caldwell went there for one of the final tapings with a pretty special guest.
The guests who packed Gracie Theater had no idea what they were in for. Until a few hours before taping, only about 10 people knew that an extraordinarily special guest had agreed to come on the show. Rich Kimball knew and had been sworn to secrecy.
This has been the toughest secret I have had to keep because I've known for about 6 weeks and it's been killing me. And so, thank God it's finally happening so everybody else knows.
This was the third of 3 episodes taped on this evening. And the introduction of the guest, when it finally came, was a model of brevity.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Letterman.
Yes, the man widely considered the great late-night talk show host of the last 40 years, David Letterman, had come to Bangor for one reason only, to appear on The Night Show.
When he came out, I hate to even admit this, but I got weak in the knees. I had a hard time standing straight, and I had to kind of crouch down for a second. I also couldn't believe he was there.
You have to understand, from the time he was a boy, Danny Cashman dreamed of hosting a TV show. And the host he idolized above all others was David Letterman.
This is the guy that made me want to start doing this. This is the guy I've looked up to forever. He was my Johnny Carson.
Letterman insisted that no audio from the taping could be released yet, so you won't hear what he said. But he was everything that everyone in the room could have hoped for. Funny, of course, but also gracious and heartfelt in praising Cashman for what he has accomplished with his small but mighty show.
He showed up, he was here, he was excited to be here, and hearing his words of encouragement mean the absolute world to me.
As for the folks lucky enough to see it, such as Rick Tyler,
what was your reaction when he introduced you?
I stood up, I was speechless, and I wept, and I could not believe it.
Good night, everybody.
What a night. The kid from Old Town, who dreamed of becoming a talk show host and became one in a small market against all but impossible odds. And the entertainer he revered, who flew to Maine to be his last guest. Too hokey for Hollywood, but it happened. And it was unforgettable TV. In Bangor, Rob Caldwell, News Center, Maine.
Oh, that is priceless, isn't it? And that episode of The Night Show with Danny Cashman will air on May 10th.
Good for Danny. As for Letterman, he flew into Bangor a few hours before the show was taped, flew out soon after. Fun fact, though, when Letterman was on the air, he did a bit about the market that spent the least amount of time watching his show, and it was Bangor, Maine. And he went to Bangor and started knocking on doors to introduce himself because nobody knew who he was because everybody was going to bed so early.
I remember that.
So
I actually remember that.
It's good to see that he came back for Danny. What a great, great moment.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.